Hi everyone, welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Happy Monday, guys. It's a rainy one where I am, but I don't know how it is where you are. But I hope you guys had a great weekend. Thank you for commenting, showing up here, listening to these messages. Thank you for being here. I appreciate every last one of you. Remember that we're here to uplift, to motivate and encourage, not to tear down, because we have enough of that in this world today. So thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate the support. And what it lets me know also is that these messages are resonating with you. These messages, and I talk from a space of personal experiences that I went through. And I always talk about how I became an overcomer instead of succumbing to these trials and tribulations. You know, it seems that a lot of these things are learning experiences, guys. Keep in mind that if you're going through a lot of negative situations, that people, circumstances, and situations come into our life for a reason, a season, a lifetime, or a lesson. And in many cases, these are unlearned lessons that we have to learn so that we can move on to the next stage of our life. And that's what I've learned so far by being on this path and journey to heal. I also made some vows to God that I keep. And, it's just been working out because I take steps and I ask God to help me as I take a step, and He's behind the scenes taking 2 and 3 steps on my behalf, and I'm grateful for that, guys, because it's been hard, but as I do these things consistently and persistently, things get a little bit easier, you know. So keep going. You may not see the results that you want right away, but nothing is quick like a microwave. Nothing venture is nothing gain. Because if you do get something too quickly, you may not appreciate it. But when you work from the ground up and build from the ground up, you tend to appreciate everything good that comes into your life, especially after you went through trials and tribulations of lessons. And then after you learn those lessons, you can move on. And then everything that comes your way that's good, you really, really start to appreciate it and not take it for granted. So guys, also keep in mind I'm not a therapist or a social worker or a counselor, just somebody who've talked from a space of personal experiences. And perhaps something I say on any of these videos might resonate with your circumstances and situation. And perhaps how I talk about how I overcame these trials and tribulations may help you within your own situation. So please keep showing up here and invite others to do the same so that they can hear these messages and get uplifted. With that being said, let's get into this topic of discussion today. Cut the cord on toxicity. That's the title. Cut the cord on toxicity. We have toxicity all around us. It seems to be the norm in the world that we live in today in 2025. Toxic relationships, toxic love, just toxicity all around us. In order to heal your mental and physical health, if you're on this journey and path to heal your mental and physical health because you no longer want to engage in a toxicity, you don't want to be around it, in order to heal your mental health, you have to diminish the hate, the envy, the jealousy, the gossip, the malicious lies, the drama. All these things will distract you and it will break down your mental and physical health. And I had to learn this the hard way because, I used to think, well, we share DNA, or this is my best friend from way back. We grew up since we were 5 or 7 years old and blah, blah, and etc. and so forth, right? But if these people are bringing toxicity to your table to eat on a daily, then you have to think about making some adjustments. Because for me, my mental and physical health is not negotiable, and it's not for sale, and it's priceless to me. And if you guys feel that way, then it may be time to set some really strong boundaries, or perhaps think about cutting the cord so that you can stay on this path, so that you can focus on your mental and physical health without the distractions of the toxic people and situations. And at that point, as you stay focused, you can work towards acquiring inner peace. Because there is no peace when you have toxic people and circumstances and situations in your life on a daily. There is no peace when you have to fight and argue with people, which brings more and more toxicity to your life, you know. And what I've learned so far that I'm going to share with you guys today is some of the ways that I diminish the toxicity in my life. When someone wants to ignite a fire, because you got a lot of miserable people in this world, you know, who are at the bottom of the barrel. And when they see you, as I use as a metaphor all the time, crawl up to the top, how the hell did you get up to the top and we still here at the bottom? We're not letting you out this barrel. We're going to drag you right back down here. Never let anyone drag you back down to the bottom of the barrel, where all these things I just mentioned exist, because you will never be able to stay focused on your mental and physical health. You will never be able to heal it as long as you have these elements around you. So in my case, what I had to do when I first started to set boundaries, and you know, these folks and situations wanted to linger in my life, you know, hang on like leeches stuck to you that you have to tear off your skin, literally pull them off. You know, they wanted to put monkeys on my back, burdens, as I use as a metaphor, so that I won't be able to move forward and progress. So I had to set these strong boundaries, and when they were being dismissed and disrespected, I had to cut off, block, and delete. You know, there was no, well, this is my, you know, whoever and whatever. I had to let it go so that I can acquire inner peace, so that I can handle my mental and physical health. So sometimes you have to cut the cord on toxicity. And because I was having a problem do so, because in the beginning, as I was healing, growing, and evolving, these people were still trying to come in or stay in. So I had to go into prayer, meditation, ask God to give me the strength, the courage, because now these people are ignoring the boundaries that I've set. They think it's a joke, it's a game. So I had to go into prayer, ask God to give me the courage and the strength to move forward, to show them I'm not playing this game. So what I had to do is cut off, block, and delete. And people started to feel some kind of way because they were cut off, you know. But they had more than enough time to respect the boundaries, to respect what I put into place. Because I even went as far as to tell people, you know, I need time out because I need to heal. Because, you know, grief and pain from losses will change your life forever, guys. Anybody who's gone through losing parents, losing people who meant the world to you, grandparents, you know, spouses, etc., you know what that feels like. The pain from that will change your life forever. And when you want to grow, heal, and take care of your mental health, because these things will affect you mentally and physically. And then on top of that, and when I talk about the metaphor of boundaries, I mean the metaphor of, you know, burdens on your back, monkey on your back, and all these things, these are burdens that will weigh you down. And it will weigh you down so much that you can't focus on your healing, on any type of healing, because you carrying monkeys on your back, you carrying other people's burdens along with your burdens, trying to climb up a hill. It's not going to work, guys. Because people don't want to do the work, because the work, they have to look and address the elephant in the room, the root cause of their pain and problems, which for many people it stems from childhood wounds, trauma. And in my case, like I always talk about, What happens in his house stays in his house. But if any of you grew up that way, you know that what happens in his house that stays in his house, how can you grow, heal, and evolve if you're not addressing the elephant in the room? You're walking around it as the pain grows and grows and get bigger. That means you're carrying more burdens, more suitcases and luggage. And then when you go into other connections, whether it's a personal one, friendship, whatever, you bring in and drag in all that pain and stuff with you. So when people want to keep you in the bottom of the barrel with the hate, the envy, and the gossip, the pain, the toxicity, what I do is cut the cord. And I asked God to help me. And as I grew stronger in prayer, grew stronger in my self-confidence, because I had none before, I just felt less than zero because of all the toxicity and the negativity that was surrounding me. And once I start to cut this out of my life, I start to feel better. When I felt better, I start to do better. Take care of myself, self-care, which is so important. When you've gone through a lot of grief, pain, and hurt, and you need a time out for yourself. And sometimes it's okay to be alone, because in your alone time, you can find solutions to things that will help you guys, help you grow, help you feel better. And then on a daily basis, you start to realize, hey, I need time for myself every day, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, to do what's important for you, the things that you like. Because in life today, we're taught to be subservient to other people, and whatever we have, children's, etc., right? But we also need time out for ourselves, because when we do that, we are taking care of our mental and physical health. I like music. I like flowers, I like scented candles. And I do things on a daily to take care of my physical and mental health. Because, guys, once that's gone, you can't take care of yourself or anything else around you. So it's important. And this is a daily thing that needs to be done, It's so important, because if you don't do that, then it starts to, you start to have all types of health issues, so it's better to take care of yourself. And then you start to self-love. And when you get to the point where you start to self-love, you're unbothered about the noise, the toxicity that somebody feels some kind of way because you cut them off. And you cut them off, but before you cut them off, you gave them 1,000 chances to change the situation for the better. But they were too arrogant, ego tripping to change it for the better. Because as you try to close that door, they want to wedge their foot in that door to keep it open. That's the kind of stuff that I was dealing with. People who are arrogant and think they had a right to be in my life, had a right to take advantage of me, had a right to abuse and use me. So I asked God to help me to cut the cord on this. And as I grew stronger, like I said, I cut the cord on that, and they can talk and say whatever. And as I started to continue to take steps to move forward with my healing, I started to feel better. And it got to the point where I just had inner peace, and I'm unbothered by that noise. And I was grateful to God that he helped me to be able to cut that cord, because it wasn't easy, because these are people I've known forever. Some of these people were people who were in my life and they were no longer in my life, was trying to come back, but they were coming back with the toxicity and the noise and the drama and the etc. And I decided, no, cut the cord, because being happy and at peace is priceless to me. Cutting the cord also will allow you guys to manifest what you need in your life. You can't manifest anything good when you have all this toxicity of hate, envy, jealousy, gossip, and all this drama around you. So I had to cut the cord, and the only reason why I had to cut the cord is because the boundaries were being disrespected. And this is something to think about. It's not easy to do, but if someone is disrespecting the boundaries that you put in place, they're telling you they don't care about your boundaries. It is, and they're dismissing everything that you're saying, and the mental and physical health, taking care of that on a daily basis is something we're supposed to do, self-care. And if you explain to people that you need time out to self-care, etc., and they don't understand that, then that's a problem. And then you set boundaries and they're dismissing it. In my case, I just cut them off. Yes, it's painful, it hurts, but it's in the long run, it's better, because to keep that in your life and to have that go on and on and on, and you've been addressing it forever and however, and they still doing it, then they're not respecting who you are and what you need. And so people like that I had to cut off. I cried many tears behind it, guys, day and night, night and day, but I also talked to God about it. And as I talked to God about it, asked him to help me to do this and be strong enough to get through it, because I was carrying monkeys on my back that didn't belong to me, and I had to throw them off. They didn't want to get off. Some of them I had to pry off, because they wanted to stay like a leech. And I had to focus on me, because as I said, the first half of my life, I was being subservient to everybody and everything. Now, as this time of my life, now it's my turn to take care of me, to do me. And people feel, some folks feel some kind of way about it. But you know what, guys? That's not my problem, and that shouldn't be your problem either. Because if you explain and told people you need a time out to, take care of you, and they don't understand it, that's not your problem. Because you have the right and a priority to take care of yourself, because if you're not okay, how can you take care of you or anything else around you? Guys, so it's important to keep moving, no matter how it looks, because in the beginning I was taking step after step after step, and it didn't look like things were, going anywhere. But I kept praying and asking God as I take steps to help me, and he did. And I started to see the results little by little. So as I saw those results, I continued to take steps. Cried many tears, and it's okay, because the crying is an outlet for the pain, addressing what your trauma was through therapy, having a therapist and talking about these things. That's another outlet for the pain. Music heals the soul. Do things that uplift your spirit and stimulate your mind. That's why, at the end of this video, I talk about different ways that I now also take care of myself. If you go back and watch a video from Friday, I talked about getting this pillow because I was having trouble sleeping, and I bought this $25 pillow that's really soft, and it just fall asleep within 10 minutes of laying on it. Also, I want to tell you guys who are suffering with anxiety, grief and things like that. This is what I have now. It's called an anxiety bracelet. Look at the links that I put at the end of this video, and you can see this. And think about if this is something you want to do, and it may be something that you're not familiar with. See if it works for yourself. I know growing up, my mother used to have problem with arthritis, and she used to buy copper bracelets and for her ankle as well, and she swear by them. So I'm trying out this anxiety bracelet. Wanted to show it to you guys before I open it. Do things. There's also weighted blankets, things that you can cover yourself up at night, because grief, anxiety, and trauma will affect your mental and physical. Taking baths, and with candles around, scented candle, these things calm your nerves as well as the easing the anxiety. There's other things on there, other links about essential oils that help to ease anxiety. Look at these things that are there, guys, and considering if you want to use them or not, because it may help you with some of these things that you may be going through. Guys, do things to uplift your spirit on a daily basis. And one last thing I want to say before I leave here is that don't take in too much of the news. I watch the news because of course we need to know what's going on in this world today, but don't take in like hours of it, because it can bring down your mood. It can really lower your vibrations, and we want to raise that and keep that on a high level on a daily basis. Do things that's going to motivate you, and be around people who want to see you win, and not those who want to see you down, busted, and broken and disgusted at the bottom of the barrel. It is better to be at a place of peace, inner peace, instead of broken down, busted, and disgusted. So it's so important, guys, to take care of yourself on a daily basis. Continue to do that. Continue to show up here and invite others to show up here. Comment on me. If any of you guys decide to purchase any of these products, do me a favor and send me some comments on it and how you think it's helping you. Okay, guys? And subscribe to the channel, because I can't give a direct time on a daily basis as to when I'm going to show up. So please subscribe, invite others to show up here, let them know what this channel is about. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. I have to run now, so please, guys, think about everything I said here and share these videos, and I'll see you sometime tomorrow. The key factor is to keep going and to take care of yourself. This is Lisa, shedding love and light. Thank you all for being here. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Bye for now, guys.